Well, we have one final movie to discuss real quick before we close the show out. Um, I don't even know how to intro this. Well, let's just say it's J.C. Chandor's newest film. It is somewhere in the Sony version of Marvel's universe in that it's a Spider-Man villain. It's Aaron Taylor Johnson starring in KRAVEN the Hunter.
Yeah, Spider-Man villain movies. I heard that this movie is the nail in the coffin on that whole idea.
I also don't understand when they do these like villain standalone movies in which these quote unquote villains are the protagonists that you're supposed to root for,
Hmm.
you know? Like
Right.
Venom
Mm.
and this guy and Morbius.
Madam Web.
I don't know, is she a villain? I have no idea.
All I know is that that movie was lumped into this whole group. So, yeah.
Well, because they're like Spider-Man spin-off dealies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so this movie, just to be clear, you looked up showtimes, you selected it, you purchased a ticket on A-list. You didn't purchase a ticket, thank God. And then
hmm
you drove to the movie theater and sat down in a movie theater and you watched this movie.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Y-
No popcorn either.
Whoa.
I raw dogged this movie.
This seemed like a popcorn classic.
You'd think so.
So wow. I guess my first question is, well, I guess this is technically my second question. It is this movie the loudest of loud duds that people are saying it is? Like, it you've seen a lot of Marvel movies,
Yeah. I don't necessarily like them, but I
but I'm just saying,
but I've watched a fair number of them.
where would you rank this thing right off the bat?
Okay, if I was lumping it in the larger Marvel Cinematic Universe, um, see, the majority of Marvel movies, the vast majority of them are competently made with not that many awful performances and big enough budgets that like it's a spectacle. I'd say most of the Marvel movies are a solid 2.5 stars. Right down the middle, just okay.
All right.
So this would be in the bottom half.
So I didn't look the budget up for this movie, but I'm hearing nothing but like this movie has the shittiest looking CGI maybe of any Marvel movie. I mean, just of any big budget movie in general. Does does the CGI really look that bad?
No, it doesn't look that bad. In fact, I mean, they threw enough money at it that it actually doesn't look that bad. Like, it is very average Marvel CGI. Let's say that.
Okay, because yeah, I'm hearing a lot of horrendous CGI
No,
comments.
it's not that bad. But besides, their budget was roughly $120 million dollars.
120.
Yeah,
I haven't looked up the box office numbers yet for this thing, but
it
it's not going to make that bad.
it
Well,
ain't
maybe
good.
worldwide it probably
I
will.
don't even think worldwide, because you have to think like a lot of these movies that bomb here but make their money back overseas. A lot of that is because it's already an established property
Hmm.
that foreign audiences are going to go see, or it's an established star that they will go to the box office to see regardless of property. This doesn't have either of those things working for it.
Good
Aaron
point.
Taylor Johnson's not going to put asses in seats in China, and neither is a a obscure Spider-Man villain that no one's ever heard of.
Yeah, and as much as I like Alessandro Nivola, I don't think anyone's going for him either. I heard he gives a wild and weird performance.
He is definitely the person who is trying the most. So if Ariana DeBose is on autopilot, uh, then Nivola is trying everything he can to pick up that slack.
Got it.
And I honestly wouldn't say that it's Ariana DeBose's fault for being on autopilot. She has one of the stupidest characters I've seen in a movie all year.
Ooh, that's fun.
Yeah, it is really bad. In fact, her character's name is Calypso.
That sounds awful.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not good.
Is this movie over? Yeah, this movie's 2 hours and 7 minutes.
Yep.
Why?
You'd have to ask JC Chandor that question because I don't have the answer.
What happened to JC Chandor?
Well, let's ask this question. How how good is he? How sure are we that he's a good director?
I mean, I don't know. I guess Margin Call wasn't about necessarily the directing. Um,
No. And All Is Lost is about Robert Redford, right?
I think that movie's well made. Um,
Okay. A Most Violent Year.
mm,
Keeping in mind, we just now rapid fire mentioned three movies I've not seen.
this is the first JC Chandor movie you've
No,
seen?
because we covered Triple Frontier on the show.
Oh, so you've seen his the two best, right? Yeah.
Hmm.
Um, so
So your question is what happened to him? Well, the the things that he's made in the last over a decade are Triple Frontier and Craven the Hunter.
I guess that's what's happened to him. That's just who he is now.
Yeah, I think you got your answer.
So I think that I dislike Aaron Taylor Johnson more than you. I think,
You think so? You think
oh,
you hate him more than I do?
guarantee you,
Because I can't stand his entire face.
I hate him with a passion. I think about him daily.
Did he do something to you?
And I hate Fred Heschinger. I think you probably like him. Everyone seems to like him for
I
whatever
definitely
reason.
wouldn't say I like him, but I don't mind him.
I'm just saying that if I saw this movie and both of those guys are in it, and after the movie was over, would I kill myself? Like, that's it, done. Why did I? This is. There's no reason to live anymore. Why did I do this?
I think only you could answer that question, but I will tell you that there is a lot of both of them.
Ooh, so that's my last question. How much Heschinger is in this?
Not nearly as much as there is of Aaron Taylor Johnson. He is in almost every scene.
Him and
The
his
only, pretty much the only
cartoon-looking abs.
pretty much the only scenes that he isn't in are the flashbacks when they're children.
Mm. So what are
Um,
those two characters like brothers or like best
yeah,
friends when they were
yes, they
kids?
are brothers.
Oh my God, of course they are.
They are brothers, and very much like Gladiator 2, Hetchinger plays the younger brother who is coward, who's cowardly and needs looking after by his brother.
Of course, yes.
Um, let's not forget Russell Crowe is in this.
Oh right, I forgot about that.
He plays their father, who's a mobster. And other than Nivola, probably gives the second best performance in the movie.
Crow always brings it, even if he's in a
Crow
terrible
brings
movie.
it in this. He's not bad in it, honestly.
I mean, I watched The Pope's Exorcist and he went for it.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. He's fine in it.
He's fine.
Um, yeah, Aaron Taylor Johnson is
Oh, he's terrible.
really, really bad in this. Like really bad.
He's not good, man. He's not
Because
good.
one of his trademark things, and I've noticed he doesn't do it as much these days as he did big time early on in his career, was he had this tendency to play like quirky characters that had like there was some twitchiness to them or they had something going on, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Um, he was always trying to chew scenery like he thought he was a young Brad Pitt, where he's like, well, my character's got to have a tick or a thing or work. Um, he doesn't really do that at all anymore because like as annoying as that was, and with him, you always got the sense of like of a very smug, like he thinks he's really just doing a great job, you
100%.
know? Whereas now it's all just brooding
Mm-hmm.
and posturing and a double dose of swagger. Um, and that is on full display right from the beginning here.
Great.
Because the movie starts with him entering a Russian prison, and he's walking around this thing like, and it's not like an intentional thing like this is for the character. That's just how Aaron Taylor Johnson is.
Exactly.
And it doesn't get any better throughout the rest of the movie. It is a really, really bad performance. Whereas Hetchinger, I don't hate him as much as you do. So um, he's fine with what he's asked to do. And they definitely were setting this up for a sequel in which they both would return. And that's not going to happen. Um, this is just a big, dumb mess that at times is fun, but every time it's fun, the very next thing that happens seems designed in a lab to make you forget that you were ever even remotely having any fun.
Who is this movie for?
Well, judging by the box office, no one.
It made 11 million.
11 million
Yeah,
for a movie with this budget, that's bad.
it's pretty bad.
Um, yeah, that's just domestic or globally?
Domestic right now worldwide is at
Okay.
27.
Wow. That's even worse than I thought. This movie will not make its money back, and I'll be surprised if it breaks 35 million in in domestic.
Well, yeah, because it's not going to have. It's just going to dip down into the single digits next weekend. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. And so it really just depends on how long they keep it on screens.
it's not going to be long because there's too much coming out.
Yeah, that's true. Wow, I'd be lucky if it makes 25. I'd be lucky if it makes 20.
We'll see. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh boy, what did you give this movie?
Well, it is impossibly stupid,
Mm-hmm.
but there are a couple scenes that are kind of fun. Navola is really giving it his all. I really wanted to to hate on this as much as everybody else did, but I think a lot of people are having fun dancing on its grave. And like 1.5 stars. It's bad, but I've seen worse.
I was just hoping you wouldn't go to two. Yeah.
No, 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 no. Yeah, it's bad, but like some of the fight sequences are well directed. There are a couple of decent performances by Navola and Crow. The rest of it is pretty irredeemable, though. It is a unequivocally bad movie that has 3 or 4 scenes in it that are kind of fun.
Well, my version of this year is I have actually seen the remake of The Crow. So there you go.
I bet that's even worse than this, oddly enough.
It's horrendous.
Yeah, this is bad, but I wouldn't go horrendous.
Yeah, I had to know that the original Crow is just I have such strong nostalgia for it, and I wanted to see how they totally fucked that up because there was
Yeah,
a
I think with this I went in with such low expectations that I was expecting it just to be dog shit, and the fact that it didn't quite feel like it was over 2 hours. It was paced pretty well, and I didn't want to gouge my eyes out. I guess, garnered some small bit of goodwill, and I didn't hate
Hmm.
it.
It's called Craven the Hunter, for fuck's sake.
It's bad. His last name is Kravenov.
Oh, oh yes, he's doing the accent. That's got to be terrible too.
Yeah, really, he just does an American accent the whole time because they grew they grew up in New York City because their dad's
I see.
rich.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, so
So we thought we were gonna go short on Craven the Hunter, but we didn't.
well, there's a lot to break down.